498. 499. 500.
Let's see how we look. What? Where are my abs?
Where are they?
Killing is making a choice.
Where are they?
In this video we'll talk some further about the core and more specifically our ab muscles. Now if there's one thing that will fill your ego, and especially if you are a little bit younger, it is having a chiseled looking six-pack. Now the internet is full of 30-minute ab workouts, and if I'm being honest, I've never followed any of these. I have done specific ab work and it will definitely come in handy, but most people forget that with pretty much all the exercises out there, you are using your abs. Whether you are bench pressing, overhead pressing, squatting, deadlifting, even running, whether you're doing skill work, you always should engage your abs. I'm saying should because not everyone correctly braces. We can accumulate a lot more strength if we are bracing. And with bracing, I mean truly engaging our core. To correctly brace, you need to breathe properly. And by breathing properly, I mean before you enter a rep, you sharply inhale. Now that's a bit over dramatic, but you do a deep inhale, and what you do is you fill out your lungs, and at the same time you squeeze your entire core to make it as tight as possible, creating this solid embracement. So we are pretty much simulating how it would feel like if we would actually wear a brace. Everything's tight, and when we do this, we can actually exert a lot more power. So there are many benefits to bracing. First of all, it increases your strength, and it also functions your abs how they are supposed to. So you are training your abs while you're not even truly training them. So instead of focusing on our chest, we are engaging our entire body. So when we brace, we are steel. We're made from steel. If I don't brace and I would slap myself, I would get hurt, and I don't want to get hurt. So if we use our abs correctly, they are used for stabilization and thus generating more power. So when we do heavy lifts, our abs will grow. Eddie Hall is gigantic. He's also full of steroids, but that's besides the point. He is gigantic. He does phenomenal lifts, and his abs are huge. Believe me when I say he does not do specific ab workouts for 30 minutes in a row. It's just, he doesn't need to. He doesn't need to because he fully engages his body with all his lift and thus developing the ultimate physique. Well, the ultimate physique, he looks like a gorilla, but yeah, he's functional. He has functional strength. Even though he's that big, he has functional strength. A true athlete. Now, I'm not saying you should skip ab workouts completely, because we can actually train our abs specifically, and especially if it's your first few years of training. What I would highly recommend is learning the hollow body hold. So in order to work our way up to this exercise, we first find a floor. You must have this. What we do is we lay on our back and we curl up into a ball. We lift our shoulders off the floor and thus engaging our abs. What we do is we put our arms to our side and straighten them, and we need to watch our neck a little bit. If you have a long, beautiful neck like I do, we need to be careful of our positioning. So we don't want to like goose neck, but we want a more neutral position. Save yourself from neck complaints. Important with this exercise, our lower back always is in connection with the floor when we do the actual hold. What we also do is we have our hips in a posterior pelvic tilt. We do this automatically by having our knees towards our chest and really rounding up as a ball. Now, instead of losing the hip position and opening up our legs, we're going to raise our knees to the ceiling and having our hips in the exact same angle. Now we are in a advanced tuck hollow body hold. Now what we can do for reps is disengage our abs and thus lowering our hips into an anterior pelvic tilt, causing our lower back to not be on the floor anymore, and then sort of curling back into the original position. So what we can do is we can do this for a certain amount of reps. I would advise you to do 10 reps. So engage the abs, disengage, engage, disengage, engage, disengage. Now after we have built this solid base, what we can start to do is we can extend one leg. So we keep our knees in the exact same position with one leg, and all we do is we straighten out one leg. Keep the lower back in connection with the floor and keep the shoulders also off the floor. If we are able to hold this, what we can do is we can switch legs. So first we have left leg straight, right leg straight, left leg straight, right leg straight. Don't let your knee fall all the way into your chest like we did at the very beginning. We stay in an advanced open position. So if we have done the switcheroonies for a couple of times and we can easily do it for 12 reps, what we can start to do is engage both legs. So now we have both legs straight. So we have our lower back in connection with the floor. Our hips are still in a posterior pelvic tilt. We have our shoulders off the floor and we have the arms besides our body. And what we can now do is we can do 3 different types of exercises. So we can do the crunches, which I would really advise you to do because you properly are engaging your abs this way. But we can also add weight to our ankles to make the exercise more difficult. And what we can also do is perform some leg raises where we go towards the ceiling, to the floor, towards the ceiling, to the floor. And we remain the lower back onto the floor, and that's the exercise. So if you have a strong hollow body hold and we do full body exercises and you still don't see your abs, you might just be too fat. So what we need to do is we need to lower our body weight until our abs do become visible. Do this by eating less calories than you currently are doing. There's no more detailed way of explaining how to lose weight. You cut down calories and you move your body. Now if you cut down to a low body fat and you still don't see your abs, it might be because they're still not developed. So you're not strong enough yet. So what we do is we increase our weight, getting into a higher body fat percentage. We keep the strength training going, just regular, do barbell lifts, do body weight exercises, get stronger, do the hollow body hold, and eventually when you are like, I'm feeling more powerful than ever, cut down in weight again, and now all of a sudden you might do have some abs. You also need to learn how to engage your abs properly to actually show them off. So right here I am flexing my abs, and right here I'm also flexing my abs. The difference is the engagement. So we need to practice how to engage our abs, and the sweet spot is kind of between being like fully bloated and being fully sucked in. We need to be in this kind of neutral state, and from there you're going to need the mirror and you need to play around with engaging the abs. We can squeeze them from the very top, we can squeeze them from the bottom, we can squeeze them from the middle. There are lots of ways of engaging our core, and you need to find for yourself how to properly engage this. Everyone's body is different, and I cannot very well explain how to like get the most chiseled looking abs in terms of posing. Okay, I cannot do that. So flex a lot in the mirror, in the morning, in the night, I don't care. Try it out. So if we have been training for over 5 years, we are doing the strength training, we have bulked up maybe already 2 times, we have cut down in weight, we're doing the exercises, we're strong in our core, and we're at a low body fat percentage, and we still don't have abs, you might just be in bad luck. And this is a genetic component in which you can do very little about. This is life for some people. And what I would advise you to do is find peace. You need to find peace with your body. Having abs is not like some sort of secret juice to enhance your life. Not having abs, there's nothing wrong with it. Some people do not have the best genetics, and what we need to do is just accept the fact that we do not have the best genetics, okay? We need to focus our life on becoming healthy, having endurance, having strength, having mobility, and finding fulfillment in our jobs, take care of the people we love, and that's what life is about. It's not about having a six-pack ab, okay? You can have the strength, you can have the mobility, but some people just do not have the abs, and this is okay. Some people also do not have the most straight looking abs, so they're like kind of crooked. This too is just genetics. There are no wonder exercises that all of a sudden will give you a straight chiseled looking abs. Some people just do not have the best genetics. And yeah, like I said before, just try to find peace with this because it's not the end of the world, okay? Your life is more than just having a good looking six pack. So yeah, enjoy your training, have fun, eat well, sleep good, download my free ebook, and I hope to see you in the next video. I want you to take care of yourself. Goodbye, cheers, ciao.